Embarcadero. One last note from out here that's interesting. It is not just the anti-Chinese protesters who've gone into the street. It's a lot of the pro-China people who've gone into the street. These are the people who would, you would figure, would want the torch to come through and would want to support it. They even seem to think that's not going to happen, so they've taken to walking up and down the Embarcadero.
Well, as you pointed out earlier in this newscast, you said there wasn't a lot of police presence along the Embarcadero because perhaps already they know that the route, as we know at this point, has changed as well, right, Garvin?
That could be the case, and just when you get out here and you see they have the barricades up and the number of people and how long this route, the number of police officers it really would have taken to stop, to keep people off the road here would have been thousands, I guess. And so I think they must have looked at this and just said there's no way that they could put enough police officers out here to keep people off the Embarcadero before the torch came through. Maybe their backup plan was then to do the best job they could protecting the torch, but right now obviously we're not even sure if they're going to do that.
Let's bring in Diane Dwyer right now. Some more activity near that Ferry Building warehouse. And also it looks now, Diane, like the Wave Runners team is almost circling but not really going anywhere.
That's exactly what's happening, actually. But what we did see, there was a little activity here in just the last few minutes. A couple of motorcycles left the building, the pier, and then a large police truck van moved into the pier and went inside the building. So, you know, again, we're speculating because they're not giving us much information, but we did see a large police van move into the building where the torch is. So perhaps they're planning some kind of movement at this point and getting the torch onto a bus or a van in order to move them out safely. Now, there are some folks actually walking out of the building at the moment as well. We've still got the Wave Runners and the police boat standing by as an alternative route, I believe, at this point, and we have thousands of people lined up along the street here waiting to get to see this torch, and not so sure it's going to happen, but so far people are being patient and waiting, and a huge, as we mentioned, a huge police presence as well lining these streets, which makes you think they might actually try to take this torch down the street and run it, but right now they're holding off. In fact, I see several of the torch runners actually walking out of the building over to perhaps a police car. I'm not sure if we have a chopper shot of that or not, but I did see several of the torch runners in their uniform just leave that building.
It also looks like a bus kind of on the side, one of those articulated buses, has just pulled up in front there. I don't know if it's blocking traffic purposely or if it's pulled up. Situation obviously a little bit unclear.
And we are looking at that police bus right now that Diane just mentioned, some of the cops getting on that bus. Not a whole lot of activity, you know, in terms of the run and in terms of cops mobilizing at this point.
No, it's actually very quiet here, and I'm not sure what that articulated bus is doing, if it's just trying to turn around, but it's doing a very good job of blocking our view of what's going on the other side there.
Maybe that's the point, Diane.
It very well may be. We do have Cheryl Hurd down at the building. We'll get in contact with her in just a minute and see whether she's seen whether the torch has moved at all inside the building. But it's
okay.
It's hard to know what's going on from out here. We are starting to see
a police officer, a motorcycle officer exit that building from the front. Now we're seeing a black, what appears to be a black SUV, and now that police van that you were talking about has exited as well. And now comes a big bus and more police, a police convoy exiting. Is the torch runner in there? Are other torch bearers in there? That's what we don't know. And where are they headed?
This is more of a torch drive than a torch run at this point.
It's a torch drive by now.
And they're headed south away from AT&T Park and downtown. They're headed in the opposite direction of where the torch run was scheduled to go.
Diane, excuse me, we're going to interrupt you for a moment. Let's go to Cheryl.
Okay, I do have a little bit of information. If you did see the videotape of the van going by, there was a torch runner in there. Her name is Lin Li. She's a swimmer representing China. They came into this building. They stayed for about, 15, 20 minutes. regrouped, and now they're headed out with about 2 or 3 vans. So it's not a torch run, like you said. It seems to be a torch a drive right now, and we have no idea where they're headed. We do know that Willie Brown is standing right here, along with a couple of other gentlemen. I have no idea who they are. So, you know, this is really funny to watch this whole thing unfold, and we have no idea where they're going next.
We can actually see some people inside the van wearing the blue and white jumpsuits.
I believe that's part of the delegation that is accompanying the torch on its journey.
The paramilitary group that we've been talking about.
The men in blue, as they're called.
Exactly, they travel along with the torch. But I mean, the question is the torch bearer ever going to get out of the van? And are they actually going to run on the streets, or are they just going to drive it around, which would be one way of keeping it safe, but certainly not the pomp and circumstance that the Olympic Committee was hoping for. They're going to...
It is now passed over the 5th Street Bridge. It is now sort of headed toward the heart of downtown San Francisco, but again, not on the original route, certainly not at this point.
Do you know where it's...
The mayor had said that things were changing, that things were fluid, the route would change. Obviously, it went from 6 to 3 miles right now. NBC 11's Cheryl Hurd. She has more with former Mayor Willie Brown. Cheryl.
Well, Mayor Brown is here, and you've been here since 12 o'clock. Do you know what's going on?
No, not as anybody else, seemingly. They're about to, however, take me over to the Justin Herman Plaza. Apparently, there have been a number of diversions going on, but the real torch just left here about 2 minutes ago. You were here to see the lighting ceremony. Then they held it here for a while. Then there was a brigade of cops and what have you. They invited me to do that one, but they said it might be rather hairy. So I decided maybe I'll take a boat.
There are a lot of boats out there standing by and maybe ready. Now, the torch
Did you see
bearer...
the incident involving the boat? There was a guy that somehow slipped through, got under this thing in a kayak, and all those little single-engine motorboats went under to get him, and they brought him out.
Oh, really? Was he arrested?
I don't know if he was arrested or not, but they sure took him out.
And the person who was the first torch bearer, she is in that van. Do you know if she's going to go and hand it off to someone else, or are they going directly to Justin Herman Plaza?
No, I think that it's going to be handed off as soon as they possibly can. They had 2 or 3 other Olympians dressed, torch bearers, Olympians.
Are you disappointed? It seems as though the plan is just moving fluidly.
It has gone. I mean, it has just been destroyed. But I'm certain that the closing ceremony is going to make up for all of it.
Well, it seems as though you'll just be a part of the closing ceremony.
Cheryl, I hate to interrupt you, but we're looking at Chopper 11 right now.
My part of it doesn't start till near the end, and obviously the beginning has been substantially delayed.
Okay.
Cheryl,
thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes.
We're looking at a live shot from Chopper 11 right now, and the torch drive is going down 5th.
It's actually going up 9th.
Okay, going up 9th at this point. But it's making its way through the streets, and it's not running. It's being driven at this point.
Okay, we have shots of Chopper 11, and it's not running. They're still inside the van, and it's making its way on down the road.
Yeah, it looked like it went down Brannan.
I'm going to meet it somewhere
and then up.
And get my torch. I am entitled to a torch. Wear this, you get a torch.
You're on a mission. You want to touch that torch.
I came to get a torch.
And now it's actually it is going up 5th Street. You're right, Lisa. It is going up 5th Street. Now going straight as if it were going into right into downtown San Francisco, which is
we're looking at a live shot right now, but.
If we could bring that live
Part of the problem is
the
satellite and it freezes up. But Cheryl, let me ask a question here with Mayor Brown, former Mayor Brown there. I mean, he was so excited at the beginning. He called his headband a crown. He was so excited to hold that torch. But I guess he'll have to settle for the closing ceremonies there at Justin Herman Plaza. We're looking at it right now.
Well, that's exactly right. He just said it, and he's here with me now saying that he's going to go over to Justin Herman Plaza and be a part of the closing ceremony. But beyond that, I don't